Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive. Today we're tackling something I know a lot of you are interested in. Intuition.
Yeah, it's a fascinating topic for sure.
We're going to be looking at Intuition the Project and hopefully come away with some really practical tips on tapping into that inner wisdom.
Definitely. I think what's so compelling about this book is that it really challenges us to stop looking outside of ourselves for answers.
It's like we forget we have this amazing internal compass.
Absolutely.
So to lay it out, the book's core idea is that everything we need, all the answers we're searching for, are already within us.
Right. It's all in our soul.
Interesting. So how does the book actually define the soul?
It doesn't really get into a deep spiritual explanation or anything.
Okay, good, because that can get a little,
Yeah, a bit out there sometimes.
exactly.
It's more about seeing the soul as that deepest part of you, like the core essence that exists beyond all those everyday thoughts and emotions.
So that's where intuition comes from. I see. So it seems like the book is saying that our minds are often so busy, so full of chatter,
Totally.
that we can't actually hear what our soul is trying to tell us.
It uses a really great analogy, and it's like our mind is a radio that's stuck on static, while the soul is broadcasting a clear signal.
I like that.
We just have to figure out how to tune it in.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. But to be honest with you, I've always had a tough time trusting my gut.
That's so common.
How can we tell if it's actually intuition or if it's just anxiety or even wishful thinking?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
The book describes intuition as this immediate knowing. It's that first instinct, that gut feeling you get before you start overthinking things.
Before the doubts creep in.
Exactly. And it often comes as a feeling or a sense. You just know it without needing a logical reason.
So we have to learn to recognize those feelings and then trust them,
Yeah, it's a process.
even if they don't initially make sense.
Especially then. What's so fascinating is that the book suggests intuition isn't just for making decisions.
Really?
It can be a whole way of life. Choosing your path, discovering passions, all guided by that inner compass.
Huh. That's a pretty big shift from relying solely on logic, which is what most of us are taught to do, right?
Totally. It makes you wonder why we stopped trusting our intuition in the first place.
It does.
I think as a society, we've emphasized the rational mind so much.
Yeah, maybe we've lost touch with these more, I don't know, deeper, intuitive ways of knowing.
Exactly.
So the book talks about developing intuition. Are there, like, specific techniques it outlines? Or...
Yeah, it's more about a shift in mindset, really. It's not so much about step-by-step instructions.
Okay.
It's more about encouraging you to become more aware of what's happening inside, to pay attention to those subtle feelings and nudges.
So how do we actually do that? It's not like we just wake up one day and suddenly we're intuitive.
Of course not. Although, wouldn't that be nice?
It would.
While the book doesn't get into specifics, there are things like meditation,
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
journaling, even just spending time in nature can help to quiet the mind.
Right, yeah, I can see that. It's about making space to hear that inner voice.
Exactly. And don't forget about dreams.
Oh, dreams.
They can be such a powerful source of intuitive wisdom.
Oh, that reminds me of a dream I had once. Never mind. That's a story for another time.
Maybe another deep dive.
So just to recap, what we're learning here is that we already have all the answers within us. We just have to quiet our minds and really learn to tap into that intuitive knowing.
Absolutely. And to leave you with something to think about, remember a time when you ignored your gut feeling. How did things turn out? This week, try paying attention to those subtle, intuitive nudges, even in the smallest decisions.
Great advice.
You never know what you might discover.
Thanks for joining us for another deep dive. We'll see you next time.
See you then.